girl, Miss Kick Rock.
What's going on? It's Schmack and McLitty, y'all. What's going on?
And we're here with a difference of opinion.
Hey.
Mac, how you been, bro?
Hey, man. You know, I'm feeling good. It's the start of a new month.
Yes, Black History Month.
Come on.
That.
Super facts.
Yes,
Super facts.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too, man. You know, I'm excited to make history.
I know that's right. I know a lot of people tuned in last week for the first episode. Shout out to you guys if you did. If you haven't already, don't forget, like, subscribe. We got our personal Instagrams below. We got our business, podcast. Every way you can follow us, get notifications, so make sure you do that.
Everywhere. Just love the whole thing. The whole thing. Don't leave no parts out. No parts. What's up? So what we got today, Red?
Man, we got an action-packed show. I'm not even gonna kid with you guys. I know there's been a lot of conversations, you know, in my personal circle, around the workplace about, you know, it's a new year, new us, new expectations, right?
Expectations. That's a heavy word.
Yeah, that part. That part. And when we start talking about relationships, that's where things start to get dicey, right? When we start talking about expectations, right?
Yeah.
So we want to talk about right now, you know, it's 2019. Are some of our expectations outdated?
I mean, I think that's a great point and a great question, especially with a particular topic, in fact. Is the expectation for the man to be the provider outdated? I would love to know your opinion on it. I got my own. I mean, I think in this day and age, times have changed. I personally believe, let me just start right here. Yes, the man should be the provider. I think having structure in a household is always dope. I mean, where there is no law or order, you know, chaos runs rampant. So I think when you don't have an order or a system in place, I think things can be a little bit off. I think life has changed. Society has changed. I think a lot of things have changed, but I don't think certain gender roles should be eliminated just because those things have evolved. What do you think?
Yeah, no, bro.
Why not?
Well, because I agree with you in the sense that, yes, we've evolved for sure.
Right.
You know, now it's common for there to be dual income households. So with that, I say that, you know, the female should be willing to step up from a certain perspective, because the old school mentality of the man being the provider, right, is he brings home the bacon. Yeah. That means the woman's there, she's taking care of the house, the home, and the reality of it is that women, we're having to wear more of those hats. So I think that we should be able to share some of those roles in a sense. Don't you agree? Yeah, absolutely. I think because you have stepped into such a great of a role, I think things are outbalanced, in my opinion. There's a reason why there's a mother and a father in a child's life, or there's the reason why there's a husband and a wife, because I think they work together to bring balance to their family or to their home. I think, everybody should do their part. You know, I think everybody does their part, but it's the man's job or the husband's job to protect his wife, to protect his children, to make sure they are provided for. I think that's just innately it's just in our DNA. I mean, would it be safe to say that caring, not that it can't be applied to a man, but that nurturingness is associated with the mom before it would be associated with the dad? I don't necessarily think so, no.
Why not?
Because I don't think so. I think nurturing is for both parents. You know, when your child cries and it has a need and it's not able to communicate, both parents jump in and assist. And I think nowadays, you know, I think that there is still an expectation for a lot of women, and women who are educated, women who would make very good money, that there's still an expectation for them to want that man to provide. But I feel like it's somewhat an unrealistic expectation, because if you're working, you're 40 hours a week, you're bringing home money, why shouldn't you have to share some of that burden? Why isn't it more of a team dynamic? Right. Because I think that's what really makes the dream work, right? It's having that dynamic and have somebody that you can lean on. And I'm not so much interested in the gender roles. You know, I want a man who can cook for me if I have to work late. You understand what I'm saying? I want a man who's not going to shrink my jeans, because y'all know I got long legs. I don't need no high waters, okay?
Facts.
You know, I need somebody to share that with me. And with that being stated, because I want to have equal rights, I want to have equal say. Yes, I believe a man should be a man and he should have his say and he should lead and guide us. But I also feel that I should have a say as well, right? Mm-hmm. I'm working. I'm providing. I'm making stuff happen within the household, so I should have a voice as well. So we're gonna do this as a partnership. Right. It's not so much as I'm looking for him to provide. I'm willing to pay my half of the bills or whatever it is, agreed what bills that I'm responsible for. And I think that that's the piece that gets lost now, is that women want to work and you want to keep all your money and then you want a dude to pay all your bills. Right. It just doesn't work like that.
Right. And I would agree with that, especially and that's why I say I think in this day and age, it's better to have two working parents or two working individuals within the household. And I think if that's something that you work together with or work out with your significant other, your husband or wife or whatever, I think that's dope. I think two incomes in a household would be absolutely incredible, but I think it's the idea of, does a man want a woman to just sit there and look pretty, or does a man want a woman to take care of him? I think in this day and age, and speaking with other women...
Well, answer that question for us. I mean, what is your perspective on that? Because you said that you wanted there to be structure and order, and those are kind of old-fashioned constructs. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that they go hand in hand.
Right. So how I feel about that is, I think one supports the other in both aspects. A man and husband should serve his wife, and a wife should serve her husband. But I think there should be a lead. I think there's, again, an order and structure. There's a CEO. And it's not that the other voices aren't important. It's just we're going to follow the vision of whoever we decide to follow beneath or follow with. And I think it's just in that aspect. But when we're talking about providing, yes, I want to provide for my wife. I come from a background where my mom worked hard, super hard. And in some sense, that's why I would look for a woman that shows those same attitudes. I wouldn't want a woman who is like, oh, come take care of me. I just want to sit down and do nothing. However, I do want to take care of you. I want to, make sure that I have a house for us. Now, again, that's just how my dad did that. My dad is I'm going to provide for my family.
I think that's where the challenge is because guys are like, yeah, it's cool, work.
Right.
But then they want the old fashioned, the old fashioned dynamic as well. And I think it gets confusing to these women because a lot of these women have these ideas, whether it be their parents or their grandparents or just society that says a man should do X, Y, and Z. But at the same token, don't know how to do the same things on the flip side. Right. And I think that a lot of the times women will forgive and ignore a lot of things if a man is able to provide for her. Right. And just for the simple fact that he can provide everything she wants. It's comfortable. And I think that that's a big issue in and of itself. Women just have to be honest about their expectations as well. For instance, case in point, Cardi B and Offset.
Right.
They've been in headlines a lot recently. They've been married. They have a 6-month-old beautiful daughter. Yeah. But yet they have this public beef between them where their fans have gotten involved. He's made public displays of apologies at her Rolling Loud set, where she was real hot about that. Facts. And I felt there was a lot of BS around that too. Girls are saying oh no, he shouldn't have pulled up to my job. But at the same token, this is what I mean about us not setting proper expectations. Every shorty knows, especially if you're not a bum, that if your man cheats on you and you feel stupid, and if the public knows, you feel even dumber because you're popping. So imagine how Cardi B felt. And how else is this dude supposed to apologize, right? He's supposed to come and humiliate himself in front of all of these people and do all of that in order to get your attention and say, I'm really sorry. Who cares if you tell me you're sorry behind closed doors? You made me look a fool in front of millions.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think that's the risk and reward of being famous. I mean, those are the things that, you know, you have to deal with, especially if you're going to have a public relationship.
Yeah, but at the same token, like she did all that, and don't get me wrong, like I love Cardi. I love her raw. I love her realness. I love that she shoots straight from the hip, you know, because she's emotional. You know, I love all of those things, but at the same token, like, what did you expect? You married a rapper. He's one of the most popular rappers right now and has been for like 5 years.
Yeah.
You knew that. You chose that when you chose to be with him, and you knew you was going to be on the road. So what were your expectations? And to do all of that and all of these shenanigans, to be like, we broke up, I miss you, this, that, and the third. Y'all still going on vacation, still sleeping with one another, all just to go back home and to be back with him. I'm not saying I don't want them to get back together, because I'm an advocate of black love.
Absolutely.
I want that little girl to have a happy household, but like, what are your expectations? And you're putting it out there, so all of these other little girls is out here seeing it like, well, if he make enough money, it's cool, you could cheat on me.
Well, I hope
if you could provide for me, if you could buy me a bag and a personalized rose bouquet that says "Take me back, Cardi," you can buy me Range Rovers or that Lambo truck.
Right, and like I said, I just don't. And in that particular case, I don't think it's because we provide for you. I think, again, you expect a man to protect you. That's just the expectation. You know what I mean? Although you could protect me, I don't want you to ever have to be in a position where you have to protect me. You know what I mean? Although you could provide for me, I don't want to have to put you in a position where you have to. Although if you want to work together and build this legacy, build this empire, I'm down for that. You know what I mean? And when I say certain gender roles, I don't mean necessarily that you don't have a voice. It's just whatever I say. That's antiquated. That part of it is antiquated. But the idea that, you know, men just are looking for a woman to take care of them because they got that, you know, my mom took care of me type of syndrome. I need this whole baby boy type of feel. But
how do you feel about that? You still want to be a provider to a woman that don't know how to do nothing but text, find out where her charger is, cook oodles and noodles in the microwave, like
no.
Easy Mac type shorty. Like, you want to provide for a shorty like that? Because a lot of these girls don't have that skill set.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. No, I don't want a woman that is just that. I want a ambitious woman. You know, I want somebody who wants to see the stars and say, no, I want to go behind that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want. But me saying that I want to provide for you doesn't mean that I don't want you to work. It just means that that's just extra money coming into the household, but I'm taking care of my wife. You know what I mean? But
well, look, I'm for it. I just wish there was a whole lot more youths out here. And I'm not saying there ain't none.
Right.
But I just feel like it's really imbalanced. And I'm not saying that to knock women or to knock anybody. I just think the expectations are all off, you know. And now women are doing it for the wrong reasons. Right. You're letting a lot of stuff slide, and you're willing and you're signing up to be unhappy in situations that you're walking into knowing that this is not going to be a fruitful situation for me. Right. But then they'll go around and they'll say, well, it's not about emotions. It's not about a relationship. Like, I just want the D.
I mean, yeah, and then you got people like Tierra Marie, you know, that you know is
again, that was her problem. Tierra Marie, you know, y'all know. What was it, May?
Yeah.
Y'all seen it on the last season of Love and Hip Hop, but she had this whole quote unquote revenge porn case, and I'll be honest, I felt bad for her at first. I felt really bad, you know. Got this green-eyed dude, you know, caught her out here with all of the sister wives and this, that, and the third, but that was her problem.
I mean, you
couldn't get off the D.
You can't make a sex tape and be famous and not expect that joint to be released. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I mean, somebody gonna release that joint. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what she was mad about.
You don't know what she was mad about. I think that she didn't get paid for it. That's
mad about. I mean, super fast.
And number two, like, I mean, it's an invasion of privacy. I don't think anybody wants a video of themselves shown, especially after a breakup. But
some people are getting on with a video.
But Kels, has she respected herself more and set better expectations, she wouldn't have been in this situation. It was clear. It was very evident that he leaked this video. And to make matters worse, your homeboy 50 Cent goes and retweets it to 21 million people. So of course you're going to feel violated. But when you go run back to the dude because you want the D and because you don't love yourself enough to have enough respect for yourself to say, look, this is my limit.
So that don't call questions anyway? Like the fact that you run back to it. Like, come on, man. I don't know. We just, I feel like we giving people way too much grace in certain situations. They know what they're doing.
I don't think Shorty meant for that to happen. Period. I don't think it was staged. I don't think it was any of that, because at the end of the day, all of the cases was dropped. She's looking stupid. She's on TV,
right,
crying, this, that, and the third. You done ran back.
But it was
still slid up on him after you found out about his shorties. Both of them about to wreck you. You looking stupid, for your little love and hip hop check, and ultimately you done spent all of this time, energy, and now she had to pay out 50 Cent $30K in legal fees.
Come on, I think that's a plan that just backfired.
It's not a plan that backfired. It's the fact that we have to have boundaries and standards and be like, enough is enough.
I'm sure she had boundaries and standards in that though. It's just a bad breakup, and she got caught slipping.
How can you say that I got boundaries and standards after you want to go back and you want to sleep? Not once.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely.
But multiple times with the accused.
Come on
absolutely. Now, I done been through some ugly breakups. Trust me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But one thing about it is once you go so far, I've got to cut you off. There's no way that I could ever respect myself enough to allow anything dumb like that to happen. Like, you going to disrespect me and I'm going to let you hit it again? Why would I ever play myself that way?
Right, but you are a different breed. You are a thoroughbred, Miss Kick Rocks.
Thoroughbred.
You know what I mean? Some people just not built like that. And, it's evident by the actions thereof. Tierra Marie just not built like that. But, in other news, what did we say at the top of the show? It is Black History Month. Hey. Come on, man.
The electric slide.
Yo, you remember how poppin'?
Boogie, woogie, woogie. Yeah. That's everybody's favorite, Black History moment, the electric slide. What cookout don't pop?
I just want to know what's going to jump this year. Like how Wakanda just jumped off Black History Month last year. That was full force. That was history right there. We can celebrate that as Black history.
Happy anniversary.
Come on.
Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
But in other news, we have Black History. Today's the first day of Black History Month. I'm excited about it. You should be excited about it. And, a lot of the time, I feel like when it comes to Black history, we talk about a lot of old school things.
Yes.
Old victories, right?
Yes.
We want to talk about something that's going on right now in our community. And this one has been a solid W for the Black community, especially when we talk about the Kalief Browder story.
Come on, man.
Man.
I mean, in some sense, it's like that was a cheap payoff, but the fact that we won.
Let's tell them a little bit about actually the scope of what happened with it. If you guys aren't familiar, there's several documentaries on Netflix. I think Jay-Z got behind one as well called The Kalief Browder Story. Mm-hmm. And it's about a young Black man in 2010, I want to say. He was about 16 years old. He got caught up. He was falsely accused of stealing a backpack that had a credit card in it, a camera, an iPad Touch.
Oh, dang.
And ultimately, he was in prison. He waited for 3 years before he even got a trial.
Right.
Of those 3 years, 2 of those he was in solitary confinement for small altercations. There was even video footage of guards actually assaulting him in the care while he was on Rikers Island. Ultimately, he got off in... What year did he get off? Oh, he was offered a plea bargain in 2012, which he denied, which is kind of trash to think about it. You false imprison the kid and then you want to give him a plea to say that he's guilty after sitting in jail for 2 years in solitary confinement. Ultimately, the kid gets off because the witness flees to Mexico.
Right.
And he gets off. But unfortunately, after all that time in solitary confinement, which is crazy on you mentally, he ultimately committed suicide back in 2015 at the age of 22. This was after, going back to school, tutoring other people,
right.
Trying to prevent recidivism. And unfortunately, he lost his life. So this week, his family got a $3.3 million settlement.
And all love to the family, because, you know, I'm sure no amount of money can replace, you know, your son, your brother, you know, just, especially in that way, man.
Right.
I mean, it's a dark story, but we're here to say, as a start of Black History Month, shout out to the Browder family.
You guys were relentless, you know, your story was publicized. I know it was painful to go through that, but the fact that you guys persevered and we got our first win for a major injustice of our community, we just want to say big up to the Browder family.
Facts. But in other news, we got some other big people stepping up big time. Shout out to KD. Come on, man, that's big time, man. Same thing that happened with LeBron, opening up these community centers, having these programs that are putting our Black kids and other kids that are in the community through school, into college, man.
Places in Hampton, Virginia.
Okay. I don't know, what is her name? Is her name Siri?
It's Bixby. You know,
Bixby.
You know,
Siri know her place.
She different.
Just saying, upgrade.
Well, she's helpful. That's, you know,
anyways.
She know her gender role.
Anyway, so yeah, KD's doing his thing. He opened a community center, right?
Right.
And another NBA player that has been in headlines as well for doing the right thing, standing up for, you know, equal rights of Black people is Bron.
Come on, LeBron.
Y'all heard about him?
LeBron is putting on, man. The fact that you can back other Black actors, athletes, whomever. The fact that you can put your voice on it, use your platform, who you are as a person, as a professional, and really fight for the cause of somebody else. You're not even in the same. I mean, both. I guess sports is entertainment. I guess you could say. But
yeah, absolutely. But you know, Bron is executive producer all these shows. True. He's getting money, but nonetheless, he's standing up for his fellow actresses. You know, stating that, hey, listen, I want her. What's her name? Octavia
Spencer.
Octavia Spencer. You guys might know her from what was that movie for Color Girls?
Yeah.
I know she was in that. A couple of other things. Really, I get her confused with some other ladies, but nonetheless, she's
Loretta.
very.
Not Loretta.
Loretta Devine.
Yes.
And the lady from Queen Sugar, Aunt Vi. I get them all mixed up. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it was all.
Which one? And there's one from The View. Isn't her name Sherry? I get them all confused.
Yeah.
It's like similar basketball players that all just do the same role, and you just like, yo, they kind of similar body of work.
But this was actually a cool story because LeBron and Octavia Spencer were doing a movie that was going to be released on Netflix, I believe. Forget the name of the movie, but essentially he fought for her to get equal pay on the set of this particular movie, you know, versus, you know, some of the other actresses. So that was pretty cool that he intervened.
I think it's really dope of him, you know, because we all kind of, once you get to a certain point, we get to that, I'm just going to mind my business. I ain't trying to mess up my bag fooling with Octavia, you know.
Right.
But the fact that he spoke up, but the fact that we even have to have this conversation, you know, that I feel like she is definitely proven herself.
Absolutely.
She's been some very reputable films.
Absolutely.
And the fact that she has like a pretty significant role in this flick, and the fact that they really have to fight for her to get equal pay in comparison to her white counterparts who may not even have had as significant of a role, like, it's pretty sad. We got a long way to go.
I was just about to say that. We definitely have a long way to go in making sure that everybody is looked at beyond what their physical being and just their body of work. I mean, like you said, she's done it. She's been here, man. And especially with what happened last year with the whole Monique situation and Netflix. So the fact that Bron stood up and made sure that his fellow actress was taken care of and guaranteed her worth and her value, I think that's dope, man. Hats off to you, Bron.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's your Black History moment.
Come on. Hey.
What else we got going on, Kel?
What's going on? So the biggest topic I think this week has been on Jussie Smollet.
Oh man, that's heartbreaking, bro. If you guys haven't heard, man, I think it was on, what's today, Friday? So what, it was about Wednesday?
Yeah.
On Wednesday, apparently he got assaulted. It was some type of hate crime when he was in Chicago. Middle of the night, he goes out, to get something to eat, and he's allegedly attacked, placed a noose around his neck, chemicals poured on his skin by some people wearing "Make America Great Again" merchandise.
All right, so part of this story and why it's been getting such a big burn is that there's supposedly holes in the story. That there was no police call made. There's footage from gas stations that just do not show certain things happening. There's other underlining stories, and it's
certain things like what? Kels, tell us.
Might as well. So there's people that have credited certain sources showing that this may have been an actual situation in which he was acting real sedity in the club that night, and may have been flirting with the wrong boyfriend. And
ooh.
Yeah.
See,
so,
honey.
So apparently they didn't take too kind of it, and
he got banked.
Hey, they pulled up on him.
The Queen's banked him.
They pulled up on him outside, hence the no police call. I don't think.
I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, like, I think it's really sad. Like, right. I don't know anything about Jussie Smollet but positive things. I think he took a really courageous role. Controversial for sure, because there wasn't a lot of gay representation on TV prior to Empire,
right?
Especially like in like just a regular kind of way. And what I mean by is like, we all have different like levels. Just like we got levels to blackness, it's kind of like levels to sexuality. And I have a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community, and not everybody is so flamboyant and extra like RuPaul. You understand what I'm saying? So to kind of have that representation, especially for them, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's really sad that, as soon as this story comes out, it's all this negativity, trying to prove him to be a liar, this, that, and the third. I don't know what it is. I will say some of the stuff does sound sketchy to me, in terms of like, he mentioned that he doesn't want to, him or his publicist, they don't want to release their phones to the officers for investigation, which could potentially, provide some significant clues as to what happened. So that's kind of fishy. And I also read something, I think it said that there were images of him walking back into his hotel with the noose still around his neck, which is really weird to me, because I don't know about you guys. I was born in 85, so I'm not even that old, but if somebody ever puts a noose on my neck, the first motherfucking thing I'm doing is taking it off the first chance I get. I'm not gonna walk around and wear it like a Jesus chain back to the DoubleTree.
It said he showed up to the hospital with it on. I mean, he could have been in pure shock and disarray and appalled, but I'm still not driving myself through Chicago with a noose on my neck. Like,
it's weird.
Yeah,
it's really weird. But I really feel like at the end of the day, I'm kind of disappointed. I shouldn't even say disappointed. It's to be expected of the media, but like, for goodness gracious, like, give the boy a chance. At the end of the day, he did make his first statement today, in which he stated that. Come on.
Breaking news. With Miss Kid.
He said he told he told the police everything allegedly, but again, you didn't release that phone, so.
Well, I think that's the fishy part too with the phone release, because he claims he called his manager while he was being beat up, right? And his manager heard these people, saying all these racial slurs, all these homophobic slurs, and say "Make America Great." So if they hand over their phones, then they could trace those calls. And if those calls weren't really made, and I think people within, that Trump community feel like this is more of a story to sort of push the
anti-MAGA movement, which at the end of the day, like, whatever, they push anti-stuff all the time. Like, I'm less concerned about that.
But they also said that Empire, the network, received a letter that pretty much was a hate letter. Threatening letter, and that was a week prior to this event even happening. So, I mean,
I find it.
I think that, I want to say this. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but at the same token, like, why aren't we a little bit more defensive? Like, you know, he has been a model character in our community, you know, and why don't we, like, defend him at all? Like, what if he didn't? Think about it.
Right.
If something like this happened to you, the first thing that they're going to do, especially because it's MAGA affiliated, is to try to change the storyline. That's what they always do on us. So why wouldn't he prevent that by not releasing his information to the authorities who are supposed to protect us?
Right.
Like they protected Kalief Browder, right? Yeah. And they could switch the whole headline, you know, just like they did with Sandra Bland.
Right.
You know, switch the whole, you know, modify it, edit it, Photoshop, whatever the hell they got to do. So why are we so quick to say something, you know, negative about this guy? I think at the end of the day, we need to give him a chance. According to Jussie, though, he did speak out today. He said that he was working with authorities and has been 100% factual and consistent on every level. Despite his frustrations and deep concern with the certain inaccuracies and misrepresentations that have been spread, he still believes that justice will be served. He also said that something along the lines of that hate is just not within him, so he that can't be kicked out of him, you know. Right. So no matter what you guys say, he believes justice will prevail. He believes his team has it. And I really am Team Jussie at this point. I hope that he proves you all wrong, and it's just, again, another form of injustice and ignorance.
Right. These rumors come from Christopher Milan, and who's a Chicago-born and raised artist who's also openly gay.
Who was on Love and Hip Hop.
Right, facts. So
he was actually dating or messing around with the first ever, like, butch rapper that came out on TV on Love and Hip Hop. So that's like his claim to fame. That was like probably like a Guinness Book of World Record in some weird way.
Okay. But all right, to his point, he's pretty much saying, being that he's from Chicago, that's not even the wave. Like, he, in all his life of living, has he ever been attacked?
In all my life of living, I never thought we would have Donald Trump. I never thought the government would be shut down all this long for a wall that none of us really want like that.
Touche.
And none of us can seem to do anything about it. I mean, so like, you caping for your city, but at the end of the day, you just kind of like pushing again the narrative of bringing down your fellow gay black man, which is kind of sad. Like, let the facts come out. Well, shut up. You're not an investigator. I mean, you're not Sherlock Holmes, bro.
To his point, he actually roots for Jussie. He wants this to be a true story. Then you should have shut up, bro. How you want it to be a true story? I mean, but I want you to. I want this to be true. How does that sound? I want this to be true that this happened to you. Yet I've been from Chicago my whole life, and that don't even sound right. You would have just shut up. If that happened to you, you my man's, Kel. Right. I done been living out in Virginia for however long. I don't see nothing like that happening, bro. Right. But am I gonna go in front of thousands or millions of people and be vocal against you? I'm gonna pray that you straight. I'm gonna try to support you any way I can, and I'm gonna see what happens. And those are very big facts. Very big facts. And you're absolutely right. From that perspective, I understand that you're right. He should support. But some people just would rather want the truth. And from his perspective, he believes, from his statements that he's made through his social media, that celebrities pretty much do certain things with certain agendas attached to it. And we know how entertainment is. We know how Hollywood is, and politics as well. And if, you know, certain things with that, I don't know. I just can't put it past the government. I can't put it past anybody's hidden agenda. You know, it's just too many crazy things, man, that's going on. So I think it's a distraction, bro. At the end of the day, they're gonna make it a distraction. Always so we're gonna have another gay dude argue, put down this guy, and now everybody's confused. And you know, instead of like focusing on what it really is, and like absolutely, that's the plot twist in and of itself. Absolutely. Well, we pray that justice comes to pass for Jussie, man. Absolutely, man. Much love and success. Yeah, absolutely, man. Don't let this stop you. Don't let this stop you from doing great things, man. We just, you know, want to talk about it, man. We want to make sure the truth is out there. That's right. Yeah. Well, that wraps up another episode of A Difference of Opinion. You did good this time, Brett. You did good this time. I'm sick of him. As soon as we cut to his body. Anyways, yo, this is another episode of A Difference of Opinion.
See, you put me on the spot, bro.
And I just told her she did good. You still doing good. But this is a difference of opinion.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit us up, and don't forget to comment below. Let us know